On a seemingly ordinary summer evening in 2005, Patrick McDermott, a Korean-American cameraman and on-again, off-again partner of actress and singer Olivia Newton-John, stepped aboard a modest charter fishing boat in San Pedro, California. He brought with him only basic belongings, some clothing, his wallet, a camera perhaps, and the weight of personal and financial troubles. The trip was supposed to be a simple 22-hour excursion off the Southern California coast. But when the vessel returned the next day, McDermott was nowhere to be found. What followed was a bewildering investigation that unearthed more questions than answers. A vanishing act that left behind no conclusive trace, but sparked global speculation, sightings in foreign lands, conspiracy theories, and heartbreak. Nearly 2 decades later, the disappearance of Patrick McDermott remains one of the most confounding unsolved mysteries in modern pop culture. The man behind the mystery. Patrick Kim McDermott was born Kim Chong-nam on September 18, 1956, in Seoul, South Korea. At age 2, he was adopted by an American family and raised in the United States. He pursued a career in the entertainment industry, working behind the scenes as a cameraman, often involved in film and television production. McDermott was known to be quiet and introverted but deeply skilled at his technical work. He married actress Yvette Nepar in the early 1990s, and the couple had a son, Chance, before divorcing in 1994. By the late 1990s, McDermott was dating Olivia Newton-John, the beloved Australian singer and actress best known for her role in Grease. The relationship was marked by periods of separation and reconciliation over the course of 9 years, eventually cooling off in the early 2000s. Though reports vary, it's widely believed they were not officially together at the time of his disappearance, but still in close contact. The disappearance. On June 30, 2005, McDermott boarded the Freedom, a 22-hour deep-sea fishing charter operating out of the San Pedro Marina near Los Angeles. The overnight trip was a regular event offered to amateur anglers seeking to fish off the Channel Islands. McDermott was reportedly quiet and kept to himself throughout the journey. He mingled little with the 22 other passengers aboard the vessel. When the boat returned on July 1st, no one raised an alarm. His belongings, including his wallet and ID, were found in a small compartment on board. His car remained parked at the marina, keys inside. There were no signs of foul play. It wasn't until July 6th, when he failed to show up for a family event for his son, that alarm bells began to ring. His ex-wife contacted authorities and McDermott was officially declared missing on July 11th. Almost immediately, the case began to turn surreal. The investigation. Drowning or disappearance? The initial investigation conducted by the United States Coast Guard concluded that McDermott had likely fallen overboard and drowned. The ocean waters off Southern California are cold and often turbulent. It's not hard to imagine someone slipping off the boat in the middle of the night unnoticed. But this theory ran into problems almost immediately. For one, no one saw McDermott go overboard. The crew didn't report anything unusual. Even more puzzling, how could a man fall overboard and not be missed for almost a week? No head count was taken upon return. Some said that McDermott's name wasn't marked off on the ship's manifest, but due to the boat's informal record-keeping, there was no clear accountability. The Coast Guard's official conclusion came in 2008, 3 years after McDermott's disappearance. They ruled out foul play or suicide, saying the most likely explanation was accidental drowning. But in the vacuum left by hard evidence, conspiracy theories began to flourish. Motives for escape? At the time of his disappearance, McDermott was reportedly under considerable stress. He had filed for bankruptcy in 2000 and was allegedly over $8,000 behind on child support payments to his ex-wife. There were claims that he was concerned about mounting debt and potential legal consequences. Could McDermott have decided to vanish in order to escape his troubles? Some investigators thought so. Private investigator Philip Klein, hired by Dateline NBC and others, became central to this theory. In 2009, Klein's agency claimed to have tracked McDermott to a fishing village in Mexico, where he was allegedly living under the name Pat Kim. According to Klein, his team used internet tracking methods to identify visitors to a website set up as a honeypot to lure McDermott into clicking. They said the data pointed to remote coastal towns in Baja California, but the evidence never materialized. No photographs, no documents, and no confirmed sightings emerged. McDermott's ex-wife, Yvette Nepar, criticized Klein for exploiting the case for publicity and claimed that the investigation only brought unnecessary pain to their son. A photo from the jungle? In 2016, more headlines were made when an Australian magazine published what it claimed was photographic evidence of McDermott alive and well in Mexico. The grainy image showed a man with graying hair, wearing sunglasses and lounging with a woman on a beach. Facial recognition experts were brought in. One investigator claimed a 90% match between the man in the photo and McDermott. The story ignited like wildfire across tabloids and online forums. But once again, reality didn't cooperate with the fantasy. The man in the photo came forward. He wasn't Patrick McDermott. He was a Canadian tourist, unaware he had been inadvertently inserted into a missing persons case. The story collapsed under its own weight, adding another layer of confusion to an already convoluted tale. A pattern of silence. What makes McDermott's disappearance so chilling is how clean the break was. No one has reported receiving contact from him since June 2005. His bank accounts have not been touched. No paper trail, no public sightings confirmed. It's as if he disappeared into thin air, which for many is too perfect to be accidental. If McDermott did in fact stage his disappearance, he did so with exceptional precision. Most people attempting to fake their own deaths leave behind clues, make mistakes, or eventually resurface. McDermott, if alive, has not. Conversely, if he did drown, the lack of evidence, no body, no witnesses, and no alert for days, feels too convenient to accept without scrutiny. The impact on Olivia Newton-John. Though their relationship had cooled at the time, Olivia Newton-John was devastated by the news of McDermott's disappearance. In public interviews, she often conveyed the surreal emotional toll, the grief of loss mixed with the torment of uncertainty. For years, she held on to the hope that he might resurface. Eventually, Newton-John accepted the likely conclusion that he had perished at sea. In 2008, she married John Easterling, a natural health entrepreneur, and moved on with her life. She continued to express compassion and concern for McDermott's family, particularly his son, who was just a teenager when his father vanished. Newton-John passed away in 2022 after a long battle with cancer, leaving behind a legacy of music, activism, and quiet resilience, one forever marked by a love story that ended in shadows. The thin line between legend and truth. The disappearance of Patrick McDermott serves as a poignant reminder of how swiftly real events can evolve into modern myths. What began as a routine overnight fishing trip aboard the Freedom on June 30, 2005, spiraled into a swirling mystery of speculation and uncertainty. McDermott was never seen disembarking the boat, his personal belongings were left behind, and he wasn't reported missing until 11 days later. No body was ever recovered, no definitive evidence confirmed he was alive, and no clear motive for a staged disappearance was ever established. In the absence of hard facts, the void has been filled with theories ranging from accidental death to calculated escape, or perhaps something even more sinister. Nearly 2 decades on, the truth remains elusive, locked somewhere beneath the surface, both literally and metaphorically. In the end, the story of Patrick McDermott is not just about a missing person, it is a portrait of uncertainty, the deep human need for resolution, and the strange places our imaginations go when faced with the unknown. Whether Patrick McDermott drowned in the Pacific Ocean or is living out his days in anonymity somewhere south of the border, his story continues to haunt, fascinate, and baffle. Until irrefutable evidence emerges, if it ever does, Patrick McDermott remains a ghost in the cultural imagination, a man who walked onto a boat one summer night and simply ceased to be. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates.